Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be what the narcissist wanted in the relationship. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So, what did the narcissist really want in the relationship that you were a part of? The first thing they wanted is they wanted someone who would not abandon them. Now, when I say abandon them, what I mean is they wanted someone to always be there for them. Now keep in mind, with the narcissist, everything is a one-way direction and it benefits the narcissist. It never benefited you and it never will. So the narcissist has the ability to abandon you, which at many times is what the discard is, but you can't abandon them. So keep in mind what I'm sharing. The narcissist wanted someone who would always be there for them, to be a security blanket, to be a mom, even though perhaps you actually aren't a mom. Maybe you're a husband, but they wanted you to be the one that baby them and pamper them. Or maybe you're a child and they wanted you again to take on the motherly role. Who knows what it is, but they wanted someone to always be there. And the narcissist is a very needy individual. They need people to regulate themselves, and they want people to be around them literally 24/7. They want people that will not abandon ship on them. So understand that. That's number one, what the narcissist really wanted in the relationship. They wanted someone that would constantly be around there for them, to be their security blanket, to make them feel good about themselves to the detriment of the other individual, which at one point was you. Another reason why what the narcissist really wanted in the relationship was someone who would nonstop be there caring for them, which this means the individual would be there listening to the concerns and the whims and the complaining of the narcissist. They would listen to the toxicity of the narcissist. They would basically be a sounding board. They would be a person who was available basically again 24/7 to the narcissist, and they would let the narcissist rant on and on and on. And this individual, who was you again for a period of time, remember, if you fell in love with the narcissist did not fall in love with you. You need to understand that. Another thing is, when you are in love with the narcissist, you are virtually trapped in that zombie-like, trance-like state. You will do anything for the relationship because you don't want to lose the relationship, and you believe that you've just found the best thing on the planet in this individual. Nothing, and I mean nothing, could be further from the truth. You thought you entered the best relationship ever. You actually entered the worst relationship known to humankind, and it almost took you down for the count. That's why the length of the relationship is the most challenging period of your existence, I can assure you. But the devaluation stage, once the narcissist knew they had you, that was the most challenging part of the relationship. You could also say post-relationship, if you got discarded, putting yourself back together, that is a massive part also. But for this video, I'm sharing with you, when you're in the devaluation stage and existing in the narcissistic fog, you don't know what's going on. What you do know is you're caring for that other individual, and you're not putting yourself first, second, or third. As a matter of fact, on your list of priorities, when you were in that narcissistic relationship, I can assure you, you put the narcissist 1 through 10. In other words, they were the first priority, the second priority, all the way through 10, and then maybe down the line, you came a little bit, but you probably didn't. It was probably other family members or kids or other things came way before you. But on the flip that, on the list of the narcissist when you were in that relationship, guess who was number 1 on their list? Themselves. Guess who was number 5,000? Themselves. Guess where you fit in on the list? Nowhere. Because they knew they had you tricked and trapped and manipulated, and they had you existing in that trance-like state where they placed you, which is, again, the devaluation stage or the narcissistic fog. But the thing is, when you're in it, you don't know it. And when you're in it too deep. You can't wrap your head around what's going on, because most of this abuse is happening behind closed doors or in cars or where no one is around, just the two of you. Not always, but frequently that's how it happens. And then what happens? The next day, after you endured a weekend of toxicity or abuse, you would go to work and you'd be scratching your head trying to figure out what's going on, and you couldn't function properly at work. But the narcissist could, because they just had the energetic exchange with you. They just crushed you for the weekend, maybe giving you a whole weekend of silent treatment and invalidating you and doing nothing, acting like you don't even exist. And believe me, the silent treatment is a deadly thing to experience, especially when you experience it year after year. But having said that, then you'd have to go to work. And what would the narcissist do? They'd be full of your supply, because they watched you commiserate or be miserable the whole weekend, or not living your best life, basically not enjoying your weekend. And you couldn't wrap your head around it. But what happened? You would still be caring for the narcissist. You would want to go up to them and apologize to them for something you didn't even do, because you knew if you apologized, that would end the silent treatment, because the silent treatment is mainly a battle of attrition, who's going to give in first, and it would be you 99.99% of the time. And then the narcissist would accept your apology or not, and then the cycle continues. But you would be caring for the narcissist. Think about what I'm going to share with you. Who would apologize to another individual for something they never did? You know who would do that? It would be you or myself when you're caught up in the trance-like, zombie-like state, the narcissistic fog. That is a beautiful and pure illustration of how deep these people place you in that fog. You're apologizing for things you didn't even do. And why are you doing it? Because you don't want to endure the silent treatment any longer, or you don't want to experience rage fits or ghosting or being invalidated. This happens throughout the body of the relationship. You become a walking apology. You become an unpaid helper. You become a sounding board. You become someone who is so beaten down that your health takes a hit. Your finances are being decimated. Your social circle is blown up. Your job, you can't function up properly. All of your resources and assets are becoming decimated. And what are you doing? You are caring for the narcissist because you put them way high up on the pedestal, and you were doing things for them because they would guilt you into them, or they would give you the silent treatment into them, or they would blame shift you, or they would gaslight you. The arsenal of tools in the narcissist tool belt, it is basically limitless. There are main tools that you will understand what they are by practicing and identifying these through the narcissistic abusive glossary and the terms and the definitions, but they can spin any conversation any way they want to. And when you're in it so deeply, like I keep hammering on this video, you don't know if you're coming or going. You just know that you care about the narcissist. Why? The reason why is because you're most likely caught up in the trauma bond and you did not know that that even existed, but you were placed there by the narcissist, and they knew. They were watching your resources become depleted each and every day, month after month, year after year, perhaps even decade after decade. So that's the second reason why the narcissist, what they wanted, what they really wanted in the relationship. A third reason what the narcissist would want in the relationship is a person to manipulate and abuse. Now, I mention this so frequently on the channel, I will share it one more time. The narcissist needs somebody to not only put themselves high up in the pedestal, but also to diminish the value of the other individual, which at one point was you. So in other words, when you're hearing verbal abuse day after day, week after week, month after month, it really adds up. It's like death by 1,000 paper cuts. And this is something the narcissist is absolutely great at administering, which is verbal abuse. And mental abuse, emotional abuse, sometimes physical abuse, financial abuse, spiritual abuse, all those things. But I'm now focusing on verbal abuse. When the verbal abuse is when the minute you wake up throughout the body of the day, maybe through texting or phone calls, and it lasts even to the evening, and when you are listening to these toxic words, what happens? I'll tell you what happens. It beats you down. It wears you out. You can't function properly, and you're caught up in this state, and what you're trying to do is get yourself out of the state and apologize or communicate with the narcissist, and that doesn't happen that frequently because the narcissist doesn't want you doing anything other than consuming the toxicity and the verbal abuse. This is exactly what they want to do. Now, the next thing the narcissist wants to do, I'll finish that point, manipulating you and controlling you and abusing you. That's what the narcissist thrives on. That's how they make themselves feel better about themselves. And that's exactly what they want to do with you. They don't want you living your best life. They want you existing and working and pining for them. They want you doing whatever they want you to do, with whom they want you to do it, when they want you to do it, and in their time. So example, with your hobbies and all these things that you had, your hobbies were yours and you were doing those exactly the way you wanted to. The hobbies were what made you you, and the hobbies were some of the best things that you ever had on your free time. What you figured out eventually was that the hobbies would become not a part of you any longer because you lost them. You did not experience them any longer because the narcissist didn't want you to enjoy your hobbies. What the narcissist wanted you to do was to do what they wanted you to do, which meant be the unpaid helper, cooking, cleaning, paying bills, planning vacations, doing everything you possibly could for them, bettering their life to the detriment of yourself. Now, why I'm sharing that is because that's exactly what these people do. They don't want you living your best life. They don't want you doing anything other than putting themselves as the priority and putting themselves way high up on the pedestal. So that is the third reason. The fourth reason would be they are looking for what the narcissist really wanted in the relationship. They want a cover. So let's say, as an example, you did marry the narcissist. Well, that wedding ring is to the general public a bond, a union. It's a couple that are headed in the same direction. And if you did marry the narcissist, drop comments below. You'll know what I'm talking about. by saying that is when the wedding ring was on the finger, that's when the relationship shifted quickly. That's when you entered the devaluation stage and you were trying to get back to that euphoric / love bomb stage, but you never quite got there. Maybe you got a little sprinkle here or there in a month or every couple of months, but the narcissist already knew what they had, where they placed you, and they didn't have to work for the relationship any longer. And the wedding was over, and the guests left, and that was that. So it was boring for them. They were jaded. They needed a new challenge. They needed a new shiny object. And remember, that at one point was you. But once that wedding ring's on the finger, that's a license to abuse. They now believe they own you. And you don't need to have a wedding ring on your finger for the narcissist to believe they own you. Trust me when I tell you, the narcissist believes they're better than you, they're smarter than you, they know more than you, they're more attractive than you. They believe everything that you have should be theirs. That's why many times the narcissist is envious and jealous of you, and many times they want to be you. That is why, again, a side note here, the narcissist, many times they will take things from you. Not just the resources that I share on the channel, but I'm talking about your hobbies, your clothes, your hairstyle, things like that. They will mimic it back. That's why sometimes you go to work, if you're working a 9-to-5 job and you are wearing a certain brand of clothing, and because that's your style and it's comfortable, well, the narcissist sees that. If you met them recently, they'll see that and they'll be like, wait, that looks cool. I'm going to get those clothes. Next thing you know, you're twinsies. You're going to work wearing the same clothes, but that's not how it used to be. How it used to be is that was your style, but you find out that this person glommed onto you and took your style because they need to take from other individuals. Now, did they come out and say, hey, I love what you're wearing, I'm going to get some of those clothes too? No, they don't care. They'll act like it's theirs. Now, again, anyone can purchase any kind of clothes they want. I get it. But when you're going to work and you don't have to wear a uniform, but the person sitting next to you is essentially a carbon copy of you wearing the exact same clothes as you are, and you look like you're twins, that's not a good feeling. It's actually pretty awkward. And share comments below if you know what I'm talking about. It's extremely strange when you work for a company that you do not have to wear a uniform, and you go to work and the coworker, who turns out to be a toxic narcissist, is wearing the exact same clothes that you are. It's just strange. Having said that, the narcissist, what they really wanted in the relationship was a cover. So the wedding ring, that is a guise, that's a license to abuse. I already mentioned that. Another thing they wanted was built-in supply, and that's what a wedding ring is. Another thing they wanted was perhaps to create a family with you. Now, what was the purpose of creating the family? Well, my hope is to have a beautiful family and to educate and raise the kids the proper way. Many times that's not what the narcissist wants to do. They will many times, not always, but at times they'll have kids with their spouse, or maybe not even if they are a spouse, to tie them down for a period of time, which is until those children turn a legal age. Again, what does that do? That now traps you in a state where you are tethered to the narcissist and you are trying to escape at times. At least you know something's wrong, because when the kids are born, many times that's when things shift again. But you're tethered to them, and the narcissist knows this. So what is that? That's built-in supply again. Not just you, but the kids also. The cycle goes on and on and on. It's only until you remove yourself from the cycle, or if you were discarded. And either way, my heart goes out to you if you had to experience a toxic narcissistic relationship. But the point being is, when that happens and you're removed, you have to put yourself back together. You have to dust yourself off and pick yourself up by the bootstraps and understand and find that needle in a haystack, which is the narcissistic abusive cycle, and understand what it was and how it almost took you down for the count. And you need to understand that what the narcissist wanted in that relationship was not even close to what you wanted. What you wanted was abundance, beauty, growth, headed in the same direction, growing old together, raising kids, having a family, traveling, all these beautiful things. That's what you wanted. But what the narcissist wanted was they wanted to take everything from you. Your mental capacity, your health, your spirit, your soul, your energy, your money, your time, your empathy, your love. The narcissist wanted, and please play this part again, they wanted to shift positions with you on this planet called Earth. They wanted to have you be stuck in that low vibrational quagmire where they exist, and they wanted to steal your beautiful, bright, shining light like the sun in the video behind me. That's where you exist, way up there with the stars and the sun and the moon and everything. And the narcissist knows this, and they knew this, and they wanted to keep you down. And they accomplished that for the length of the relationship. And subsequently, after the relationship ended, they accomplished that too, until you found the wisdom and you got the tools on my channel and you applied them, and you understand that these relationships, there's not one good thing about them. There is zero. Nothing is good about them from the minute you meet these individuals until this very moment. Because these individuals waste people's time. They drive wedges between individuals' lives. They create destruction. They manipulate. They spread the smear campaign campaign and or false rumors about individuals. What they want to do is they want to blow up anyone that gets in their path. And if you were close to the narcissist for a period of time, whether you married them, they were a friend, a mom, a dad, a neighbor, a coworker, an associate, someone in a community or organization you are in or were a part of, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Drop comments below. These people, when you identify who they are, you need to run for the hills, because nothing, and I mean nothing, will ever improve with these people. They only get worse over time, and they believe that what you have is what they should have. That is why so frequently they are envious and jealous, and they do want to be you sincerely. So guys, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning. No matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. Remember that, you are not alone. And side note, somebody walked by here, like I'm in the middle of the woods, and that was very, very strange. A person I don't even know just walked right in front of me and kept walking. You never know. When you're creating videos outdoors, anything is possible, but I didn't miss a beat. I hope you guys liked the video. I loved it. God bless you all. No matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. I love you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a great day, you guys. Bye. That was strange. That was really weird. Bye.